It's Friday and welcome to California Today. I'm David Lam. Let's take a look at today's stories. Local fisheries on the West Coast prepare to go to work after a delayed crab season. The use of crab cages is now permitted in the Monterey Bay region. Rights groups protested outside NBC's sports studio, calling on the station to not broadcast the Beijing Winter Olympics. The group cited the Chinese Communist Party's human rights violations. California Bay Area police officers held a memorial on Thursday for a security guard who was killed late last month. The security guard is remembered as a kind and selfless friend by many. We hear more from NTD's Cynthia Kai.
Members of the public and police officers from across the Bay Area gathered in San Jose, California for a memorial to honor Kevin Nishida, who lost his life protecting a news crew in Oakland. Nishida was a security guard for San Francisco's KRON 4 News. Police officers came out to share fond memories, pay their respects, and bid farewell to the late security guard. San Jose Police Chief Mata remembers Nishida as having a huge heart and always seeing the good in others.
Kevin was very active and full of energy, so much so that he was nicknamed the Energizer Bunny by all his friends.
Colma City Police Commander Lum says Nishida was a hard-working officer and always full of energy.
I thank God he allowed us to cross paths. Like a majority of our police departments, I know heaven is short-staffed and in need of more guardian angels. God always seems to pick the best.
Nishida was hit by a bullet while protecting a KRON 4 news crew in Oakland on November 24th. He was taken to the hospital where he passed away 3 days later. He is survived by his wife, 2 children, and 3 grandchildren.
I'd just like to say that, he did something that he cared about, something that meant a lot to him. Obviously, family meant a lot to him, community meant a lot to him, and serving meant a lot to him. And I think that's what we should be focusing on today.
Nishida began his law enforcement career in 1993. He served as an officer for the Oakland Housing Authority, San Jose, Hayward, and Colma police departments. He served as a KRON 4 security guard after retiring from law enforcement. Oakland police are offering a $38,500 reward for any information leading to arrests in the shooting. Cynthia Kai, NTD News, California.
San Francisco has banned ghost guns. It will no longer be legal to buy or sell parts that are difficult to track. NTD's Eileen Ang has more.
The San Francisco Board of Supervisors officially banned ghost gun sales. They voted unanimously in September and signed it into law on Wednesday. Mayor London Breed, Supervisor Catherine Stefani, and other gun safety advocates attended the signing ceremony. In a Twitter post, Supervisor Stefani said, "Ghost guns wreak havoc on our community and are far too easy to obtain," and that the police saw an increase of over 2,700% in San Francisco over the last 4 years. She said this is the first in California. Ghost guns are assembled from firearm parts without serial numbers, making them hard to track. Parts can also be 3D printed. Kits can be found online. According to the district attorney's office, the San Francisco Police Department reported recovering just 6 ghost guns in 2016. They recovered 164 ghost guns in 2020. This August alone saw 150 ghost guns. The office also said California made up 65% of all ghost guns seized in the U.S. by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives in 2020. Eileen Ang, NTD News, California.
In San Francisco, 15 human rights groups gathered outside of the NBC sports office to call on the station to not air the 2022 Beijing Olympic Games.
For National Human Rights Day, numerous human rights groups gathered outside of the NBC sports office in San Francisco to urge the station not to air the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympic Games. The groups cited China's long track record of human rights abuses and genocide.
And so we ask NBC to stop trying to pretend that sports and the Olympics are divorced from basic moral principles.
We want total and complete boycott of the Beijing Olympic Games.
I believe that the media is also complicit in their silence about the human rights abuses that are going on at the hands of the Chinese government.
The groups thanked the countries that announced a diplomatic boycott of the 2022 Games. One speaker also expressed gratitude to the Women's Tennis Association for their response to the Chinese Communist Party.
We also congratulate and say thanks to Women's Tennis Association, WTA, for also announcing and suspending all tournaments and tour in China.
The groups also delivered a letter to NBC signed by 200 human rights groups calling on the station not to air the Beijing Olympic Games. After gathering in front of NBC, the group marched through the city to the Chinese consulate to continue their rally.
The Dungeness crab season on the West Coast is now starting after a delay this year. Some fishing zones are now permitted to open with some new restrictions. I went to Santa Cruz to find out the best way to do crabbing. Here's the story. These crab cages have been underutilized throughout this whole season, and now finally the Dungeness crab season is opening again in the Monterey and Santa Cruz region, and locals are excited because they've been waiting for a long time.
Well, it's a really special time of year. Everyone loves crab on their table, and it's been delayed, so we're all excited to hear that the season is going to be opening again pretty soon.
People weren't allowed to fish for crab recently because the nearby whales could get tangled in the caging equipment. The owner of H&H Fresh Fish at the Santa Cruz Harbor says there are more whales and they're staying in the waters longer because of the bait.
I mean, I've been on the bay my entire life for 50 years, and I've never seen as many whales as what's out there now. And nobody wants to hurt a whale, and so that makes it really tough.
The Santa Cruz native has been fishing since childhood. Haveman says fishermen take weeks to months off for crab fishing.
And it's definitely hard on all of our fishermen. That's the biggest problem. These guys they put a big part of their whole year into trying to make a living. You know, it's their wintertime money pretty much, and so.
Crab season usually begins in November, but it's been delayed. It's a big part of their revenue and culture in Santa Cruz.
Oh, it's very important. I mean, crab is one of the major fisheries left in our area, in addition to salmon and halibut. And the fishermen depend on crab for part of their annual income. It's a very important fishery in California in general.
So I think we paid here $14 a pound for it, and I think it's ranging anywhere from 12 to 14, which is actually pretty good. You know, here at the harbor, I'm sure it's a lot more expensive somewhere else, maybe in the stores, because they're probably trucking it in from further. But yeah, it's a decent price to pay. Yeah, I'll take it any day.
So there's actually like rock crabs and lots of other things people can fish here, and you can eat like all year round, which is pretty sustainable too. But the Dungeness crab is definitely super special. And
commercial crabbing in Monterey Bay Region Zone 4 is officially set to open on December 16th, almost a 1-month delay. The San Francisco area Zone 3 is still restricted from commercial crab fishing. Reporting in Santa Cruz, David Lamb, NTD News. Transportation and supply chain problems are hurting farmers across the U.S. West Coast, a major global supplier of specialty crops like fruits and nuts that are popular at end-of-year celebrations. NTD's Andrew Thomas reports.
These shrink-wrapped boxes of fresh California walnuts are stacked up almost to the ceiling in Don Barton's California packing facility. They should be heading to Europe for holiday baking and to Asia for New Year's celebrations.
Walnuts are considered a culinary nut primarily, not as opposed to being a snacking nut. And so, yeah, the peak demand comes around the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year holidays.
Instead, about $10 million worth of nuts are stuck at his processing plant 70 miles south of Sacramento, thousands of miles from their destinations, as the global supply chain crisis squeezes ports. Ships that would normally pick up these walnuts are skipping the port of Oakland, or showing up at odd or unexpected times that make it difficult to get the product to the docks.
California is not the largest producer in the world. In the case of walnuts, we produce about 30% of the world's supply. So we have foreign competition in China, we have competition from Chile, we have competition from Eastern European countries.
Much of the shipping crunch is due to the pandemic. The demand for imports overwhelmed supply chains and prompted container shipping lines to focus on the most profitable routes between China and the port of Los Angeles, skipping others.
What we're seeing is that because of the congestion that's been happening at ports, in particular in Southern California, that has delayed vessels. and they're off schedule. As a result, ocean carriers are deciding, rather than coming up the coast to Oakland, California, to skip us.
California's walnut industry exported 47% fewer nuts in the shell and 16% fewer shelled nuts during September and October of 2021 than it did in the previous year, according to a California Walnut Board report. Andrew Thomas, NTD News.
A Bay Area city is starting a new tradition for the holidays. City officials hope the event can allow residents to enjoy the holiday season and breathe new life into local businesses. We hear more from NTD's Cynthia Kai.
California's city of Milpitas announced a new holiday tradition. The 2-week event, named Holiday Magic on Main Street, kicks off a new effort to revitalize the city's Main Street business district.
Holiday Magic on Main Street is an opportunity for us to do something different every day.
The event lasts 16 days with a new theme each day. Thursday night was the global celebration, which featured different cultural dances and music.
Our diversity over the years, our community members, and we always love to come together. That's what makes us so special.
The event occupies a city-owned parking lot on Main Street. Visitors can enjoy games, live entertainment, and photo opportunities with Santa Claus. Decorations are handmade by members of the community.
And the theme of this event, the main logo, has a very unique blue and green color and white that I'm also incorporating into the murals.
Sue says the paintings showcase different holiday-related symbols, such as Christmas trees, snowflakes, snowmen, including a tiger for the upcoming Lunar New Year. Many locals came out to enjoy time with family and friends.
Just getting together, relaxing, forgetting about stresses of the world and, hanging out with the kids and then all that stuff, all that good stuff.
Residents say they're glad to finally have a holiday event in their own city. Cynthia Kai, NTD News, California.
Every Friday, you can shop locally grown organic fruits, vegetables, honey and bakeries, and more at downtown San Jose's Farmers Market. But the season will soon be over and close next Friday. Our team heard from local farmers, participants, and their customers today.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
During the pandemic, many street markets closed down. But in San Jose, the downtown farmers market lives on.
The Downtown Association has been running a farmers market in downtown San Jose for 25 plus years.
It partnered with the Pacific Coast Farmers Market Association.
And we are loving it down here. The farmers love being with us. We've got wonderful artisans over there. Our partner PCFMA, Pacific Coast Farmers Market Association, is who actually runs the farmers side. And then the Downtown Association takes care of the artisan vendors.
Next to Donna is a fruit vendor named Robert from Fresno County.
We have about 120 different varieties of organic fruit.
Robert is working for Ken's Top Notch, which sells certified organic fruits.
So what we have here, this is a Fuji persimmon. This is a good source of vitamin C. This is, whoa, that doesn't look good. I got plenty of fruit though.
The next week is the last day, okay?
A vegetable vendor sells organically grown broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and oyster mushrooms. The merchant told us they sell quickly, so they are trying to bring more fresh products from their farm for next week.
Everything's pesticide free. Everything's pretty fresh, so next Friday is gonna be our last day. So it's your last chance to come enjoy our fresh vegetables.
Startups can also visit the market to connect with potential clients and engage with their community. KiwiBot General Manager Victor Navarro brought his little delivery robot.
To reactivate the economy is also a good exercise. We need to come out. Everybody's afraid after the pandemic. So yeah, and look at the day. It's a sunny, beautiful day. Why not to come?
Victor encourages people to visit this farmers market.
I was a teacher. I taught math and science in middle school, and I retired last year. We couldn't make enough money off of just selling honey.
Mark started selling beeswax candles to make his business stable, which is his most popular item. The handmade candle burns naturally and is smokeless and dripless.
There's a lot of variety, and it's nice to see a lot of the local folks come out and show all their talents and all their goods.
We sell organic cold-pressed juices in our area. We've been in business for the past 4 years now.
Many vendors recommended Sweet Dragon, a bakery.
We use organic flour, organic sugar,
organic fruits when we can get them.
According to the owner, the popular items are triple berry pie and chicken pot pie. She has an open kitchen in San Jose. Everyone looks forward to seeing customers on the final week next Friday.
And that's all for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. You can join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. I'm David Lamb. Have a wonderful evening.